You're very welcome back. Now, in case we hadn't said it enough today, Ireland take on Italy in round 3 of our Six Nations clash in Rome later today. You'd never know, would you?
No, not at all. So while we're taking them on the pitch, we can also take them on in the kitchen too. Nicola Halloran, author of the Wonky Spatula, joins us, and we are making gnocchi.
We're making gnocchi. Yep.
Very traditional Italian dish.
Very Italian, and a delicious one to use up if you have a little bit of mashed potato lying around and you're kind of sick of, you know, just mashed spuds. So it's a nice one. I've got some mashed potato here, and the beauty about gnocchi is it's all about getting your hands involved. So a great one to get some small helpers in the kitchen with. And a really simple recipe. So I've got 400 grams of mashed potato and a little bit of flour. And you literally just put everything onto the board and get in with your hands and kind of make it into almost like a small little pie.
So the spuds are cooked and cooled down, ready to go.
Exactly. And now if you wanted to make this straight away, you can actually do it with slightly warm potato.
Oh, right.
And it just means that your gnocchi cooks quicker. So it takes about 2 minutes in boiling water until the gnocchi floats to the top, but if it's slightly warm, it'll take a little bit of less time.
It's actually a great thing to do with leftover mashed potato.
Yeah, great way.
Definitely. It really transforms it, and you know, it's a base for the dish. It's not kind of, the gnocchi isn't the hero, it's all about the flavours that you put into it.
Yes.
So you can go very sort of, you know, uniform with your gnocchi, but I'm a bit more a fan of the rustic gnocchi. So making a little ball and kind of pressing it out, because if you go down the route of trying to get them all uniform, you'd be there all day.
And it'd be a good name for a pub, that, wouldn't it? The rustic gnocchi.
Yeah, big time.
I think there.
I can't remember it. Yeah. Must have been a good night.
Yeah.
I actually find it quite relaxing as well doing this, because you could now, I know we've already talked a few times about the match being on, but this could be something that you do watching the match from
exactly.
afar.
Yeah.
And are there variations on this in terms of, like, could you add some parmesan into that as well now?
Yeah, you could add, do you know what would be lovely? A little bit of pesto or some sun-dried tomatoes, or you could even mix a little bit of kind of sweet potato in there as well. So they end up in little kind of bumps, I'm going to say. And now, if you wanted to get very kind of technical, you could get a gnocchi paddle and you could roll it all out. But to be honest, I think at the moment, a little bit of fun in the kitchen making those shapes is great.
Yeah.
So then it goes into the pot, just as it is, boiling water, for about 2 minutes. And then that's them nice and ready to go.
2 minutes, that's all it needs.
And once they float,
once they float up to the top, we're away.
Okay.
Yeah, so
handy.
Really handy one. And what I've got here with them as well is some pancetta and some asparagus. So I'm going to cook that.
Cooking liquor, is it the same as pasta? Do you salt that as well?
Yeah, so I put a little bit of salt in there as well. And then I do the pancetta or the lardons, whatever you have, in a pan, just dry, and let the natural oil and fat cook down. It's a really easy way to get it going and gets a lot of flavour into it. So I've got some asparagus in there, and then I'm going to pop some spinach in. I love the way with spinach you can load it all up and then it's going to cook.
Disappears.
Yeah, exactly.
A teaspoon of spinach,
So it's a nice one. And with the gnocchi as well, like, you can go for pesto just quickly over it, or you can do even kind of a pasta style bake with it as well. You can put the gnocchi straight into the oven with a nice sauce on it.
What I love about this dish and love about Italian cooking is that it's almost peasant food. It's basic ingredients, and it's dealing with leftovers too as well.
Totally, it's actually very practical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. And, you know, I always kind of feel a little bit of pancetta or bacon just really lifts the dish as well. It's that little bit of boldness, and you've got the really nice salty flavour. So I always like to, even if I'm doing a plain sort of pasta with maybe some garlic and chilli oil, which I have here, a few little bits of bacon or chorizo is just a really nice way of bringing it together.
It's a lovely salty addition to every dish, aren't they?
Big
nuggets
time.
of flavour.
Yeah.
So it's just the spinach is cooking down nicely, and you know, you could actually leave this for a couple of minutes and not bother stirring it, and it will wilt down anyway. But I do like to keep an eye on it at this stage to see.
So you'd no oil in that pan at all? You let the natural oils come out of that pancetta too?
Yeah, absolutely. And then I've a little bit of garlic and chili oil here to put on top of my gnocchi just to stop it sticking together. This is a really great kind of cupboard staple that I always have at home. So, you know, sometimes you look at the chilies and they're a little bit sad and, you know, they're not quite ready for a curry, but you don't want to throw them out. Slice them up nice and thin, a couple of cloves of garlic, top it up with olive oil, and this will keep in your press for a week to 10 days, and a really just nice way of using that up and getting a nice bit of flavour.
And you just have it in an old jam jar. That's a lovely idea, isn't it?
And there's so many things you can use it for. You can dress a salad with it.
And it's like everything. When it's there in front of you, you'll use it.
100%.
Big time. It's absolutely a great one to have. Now, let's have a look at getting some of the gnocchi in.
Yeah.
You're going to tip the gnocchi into the pan.
Yeah,
and mix it all up. Okay.
So getting my gnocchi in there and mixing it all around. The best part about it is that they really kind of take on the flavour that's in there.
Yeah, they're like sponges.
Yeah, big time. Which can also mean that the odd time they might get a little bit soft, but not to worry.
Yeah, that's okay. Some of the best Italian restaurants in Italy just serve gnocchi with beautiful olive oil and chili, and it's just gorgeous.
Simple food.
Yeah.
It's a really great one, I find, as well, of adding flavour to it because it is just the potato as it is. And I love a little bit of sweet potato in mine. I actually primarily do mine with sweet potato.
And you've tomatoes there, Nicola.
Yeah.
Would you use those?
Yeah, I'm going to throw a few of those in as well.
Okay.
You can chop them up or you can leave them whole. I love kind of putting them in whole because they sort of blister with the heat.
Yeah.
And as well, if you are doing like this as a bake, you can put it in the oven and they will cook down really, really nicely.
Lovely.
The smell is
nice colour and smell. Yeah, so important, isn't it?
Super.
So the perfect dish to watch the rugby with today.
Big time. And the added greens and stuff are great because this time of the year, you know, we're coming out of the winter and we want to start eating a little bit better and a little bit fresher as well.
Yeah.
So a nice little bit of parmesan going on top of that as well.
Here, I'll pass it down.
Molto bene.
Well, it certainly smells fantastic, Nicola.
It smells amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah, really good. And this is in your
stuck in here
Wonky Spatula blog at some point, Nicola, is it?
Yeah, in my book I actually have the sweet potato version, and then this one is one that I've just been playing around with for the last couple of weeks because rooster potatoes keep really well at home at the moment. So I've been buying a big box of them every week and making everything from chips to gnocchi.
Thank you.
And you can't go wrong with a couple of spuds at the moment.
No, you really can't. How is it?
Grazie, Nicola. Molto bene, grazie. Beautiful.
He's just suddenly turned Italian. Sorry, Nicola.
Grazie.
This
just
happens.
in time
he just
for
takes
the
on
afternoon.
characters. It's an actor thing. Right, full recipe details are up on the website, or you can check out Nicola's book, The Wonky Spatula, for more.
Right, after the break, I'll lean this way a bit. After the break, can we gnocchi the stuffing out of the Italians today?
God. Sorry.
We're talking Six Nations next.